What's your favorite memory from your lacrosse journey so far?
My favorite memory hmm, from my lacrosse journey probably would have to be um probably honestly just playing in my first collegiate lacrosse game because I never expected myself to play collegiate lacrosse. I remember like when I first stepped on the field, I was like, oh my goodness, like do I belong here? Like I don't know. It was weird because I never imagined it, but I think that was something that was super cool and I cherished because I finally, you know, did it, not in the sense of I did it where I'm playing collegiate hockey, but I was like, oh my goodness, I'm playing a collegiate sport. And even though it wasn't hockey, that's what I wanted, it was still Division two lacrosse. Like I think it was just a cool moment that all of the I gone through a lot of like failures, I guess you could say, but I showed a lot of resilience and so getting to that point, I think it kind of just showed that, I can do anything and you can do anything that you can set your mind to. So I think that was just a super cool moment.
Yeah. What does a typical day in your life as a lacrosse player look like? Is it as busy as it sounds?
So yeah, I definitely wish I was in middle school, gee. Because college can be super crazy, with a full course load and practices and going from Division two to now Division one, our hours were bumped up a little bit. So that was a big change for this fall. But yeah, I mean, a typical day in the life is you wake up, we've had 6 a.m. practices, so you wake up at 5, then you go to practice and then you get back. Or for me, I went straight to class because I had an 8 a.m. Some will go back and, get breakfast at the dining hall. But for me, I went to practice, had class until about 2 o'clock. Would eat lunch at some time in there. And then we'd have the lift. And then you go to your studies or you do some extra work. Um, and then you try to find some downtime or try to do things for yourself. But I also was balancing club hockey as well. So I would have practice at night. So I would be gone, busy all day, try to hit the library to get some study work in. Um, and then it's lights out, and then you do the same thing again the next day. So it can get super crazy and you can lose track of time and the important things in life. So it's important to kind of take a step back and kind of, you know, um, keep all your ducks in a row and make sure that you're getting stuff done and planning things out. But yeah, it can get very busy for sure.
Yeah. Like, how do you balance three sports?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know how I did it. Last year, uh, don't recommend. It's super fun, but it's very challenging. Um, I started, I didn't even think I was going to play field hockey until our athletic director called me that summer and was like, hey, the field hockey team needs girls. Can you play? And I'm like, well, you see, I'm already playing 2 sports. Like, I don't know how it's going to work. And he was like, well, I already talked to your coaches about it. They're on board. Like, we just need a yes or no. And I was like, you know what? I'm up for the challenge. Why not? No, at this point. So I went to school. I did field hockey because they're a fall sport. So that
Mhm.
was their season. And then obviously that's our out of season. So I did both, but field hockey took priority. So I did miss a couple practices, but obviously the girls understood and my coach knew and everything like that. But it was definitely one of those things where you really had to stay organized. But I was go, go, go from like 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. It was just nonstop. And then we hit break. Well, obviously, not even break before that, hockey started. So I was also balancing that and games on the weekend. So there would be times where I'm literally playing 3, 4 games in a weekend. It was crazy. And then break hits, and then we come back. Now we're in season for lacrosse and then hockey. And it was crazy. But it was definitely quite the experience. And I learned a lot from it. And it was super cool because not many people get to experience that.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't know how I got through it. It was kind of every day I was like a robot. It was just, okay, what's next on the schedule? All right, let's do it. So plus the lift and, balancing your social life and school and stuff like that, it was hard, but it's doable, that's for sure.
Um, what's one thing about playing college lacrosse that surprised you?
Um, I think one thing that surprised me was just like the high pace and the competitiveness.
Mhm.
Like players and coaches pushing you and not just developing physically but mentally as well. Um, and I think, that's just one thing, you come from high school and it is competitive, but then once you hit the college atmosphere, that's definitely one thing where it's like, oh, okay, like we're in the big leagues now, so you got to get up to speed. So yeah, I think that was one thing that it was definitely a full-time commitment. So yeah.
If you could go back and give your younger self one piece of advice about lacrosse or life in general, what would it be?
I think it would be um give myself a piece of advice. These are good questions, by the way. Makes you think. Um, I'd probably have to say probably just honestly like just don't give up, like no matter what's put in your path. Um, there's always a way to overcome it. With if there's a will, there's a way. It's kind of what I live by and not to take things like so to heart, I guess you could say. Um, that things happen, it's life. And to just, find the next thing and get through it. And, you'll have people around you that support you and care for you. And as long as you have that good support system around you, you can overcome anything. So I think I would just say, um, whatever's put in your path, you can get through it. Um, as long as you have the right mindset. So
That was a good speech.
yeah.
Do you have a pregame ritual or something that you do to get pumped up before a big game?
Hmm. What do I do? Um, Pregame ritual for lacrosse. Honestly, I don't really do much. I listen to music before the game, like my own music,
Yeah.
and I kind of sit in the locker room and then I kind of start thinking about the game.
Hmm.
I kind of block everything out, tune everything out, and I just start thinking about the field. Okay, like then I go through like our scout even, honestly. Like I'll take our scout papers and I'll start looking through um the opponent and kind of getting my mind right. And then once we get on the field, I kind of, that's when I start to like have fun, like switch my mentality where it's like, okay, I prepared myself. Now it's time to have fun because, you always play better when you're having fun
Yeah.
and not so uptight and nervous. So I'm a big energy ball. I start, screaming and yelling and getting my teammates pumped because that's what gets me pumped and um start having fun and trying to let loose. But I think, yeah, I don't really have a set pregame ritual, but if I were to say something, that's kind of what it would be like. Yeah.
What's your favorite pregame snack?
I want to say when I'm in the locker room, pretzels.
That's
Pretzels are good.
How do you manage your time and balance everything? Lacrosse, school, your social life as a college athlete.
Honestly, how I manage it, how I would say, is just taking one thing at a time. I have like so many different planners. I have like a school planner, then I have like a calendar on my desk with all like my sports schedules. So I kind of, every day I sit down at my desk at night and I kind of write out what I need to do the next day, what kind of free time I have, um, and just start planning and organizing. And any free time that I do have, it's, hey, do you want to get lunch? Like I'll go get lunch with a teammate so I can like
Yeah.
talk to them for a little bit, or at night, I'll go to the library with a few friends or teammates. Um, but also again, like I take time for myself and at night and doing things that I enjoy. And I think that's super important, but it's honestly just taking it one step at a time and starting to check things off the list and making sure you're on top of your schooling and doing, splitting up your assignments. Like, in a perfect world, you want to get all your assignments that are due for the week in one day. But
Yeah.
Things get busy. So it's like, taking, okay, what's due tomorrow? Let's get that stuff done tomorrow. And then whatever's due, say on Thursday, I'll do that on Wednesday. So it's kind of just breaking things up and keeping, again, your ducks in a line and knowing what is important. And yeah, that's kind of how I manage.
I know nutrition and sleep are important for every athlete, but what can you tell me about nutrition and sleep as a D1 athlete?
So yeah, actually that's a really good question because I was actually working with a nutritionist last summer and I learned a lot about nutrition and sleep and how they correlate with each other and how important that really is. Fueling your body is extremely important, especially when I'm at school. You have dining hall food, but I also had a kitchen and so I could cook my own food. So it's really important to, get your proteins and carbs and making sure that you're fueled for the game because if you don't fuel your body, then you're not going to perform. Your body's not going to perform at the highest level. And sleep is super important for recovery. So I've learned so much about it at getting, at least 8 hours of sleep and, especially when you're doing school and your cognitive ability to learn and taking that to the field and not being tired and sluggish. So I definitely think those are two really important things going into college to really consider and making sure you're doing that because um it's only gonna be best for you at the end of the day and really prepare you for your next game or practice.
Last question. What do you love most about playing lacrosse, and why do you think it's such a special sport?
I think what I love most about playing lacrosse is just like the atmosphere and your teammates and your coaches. I've had such a blast with these group of girls the past 4 years and my coaching staff. They've been there for me all the time. And I think that's something super special because not every team is like that. Um, I think the sport is really special because of how close knit you can be. Um, it's a roster of 40 some girls. Um, all having to be on the same page and wanting to achieve that one goal. So I think that's super special within the game of lacrosse. But I think I've just cherished the moments that I've had with my teammates and how they've pushed me and my coaches who have gotten me to this point today and how they prepare me and help me manage my busy schedules and how they have helped me be able to be a part of 3 different programs, I think is super cool. So that's super special.
That's it.
Awesome. I think this is great what you're doing.
Thanks.
Are you excited about it?
Yeah. I can't wait
What?
to interview more people
Mhm.
and get more experience, and then I can
Yeah,
go watch them like myself
yeah.
and for maybe other people to learn.
Yes. No, I love that. What made you like think about it? Like what made you want to start this?
Like, because I was just thinking it's good for me, as a child, I would want something like this to watch and to get so many different opportunities to meet all the people that I look up to.
Mhm. That's awesome. Yeah, when you reached out, I was like, of course, I think this is such a great thing that you're doing. I think it's awesome, especially for you and like your age and you're still developing your lacrosse skills. And like you said, like this is something that you can look back on and learn from
Mhm.
and people's experiences. So I think that's pretty cool that you're doing this. How's
Thanks.
everything else going?
It's going good.
Yeah.
What about you?
It's going pretty well. Pretty well. We just got on break, so we're on Christmas break. Did you guys start break yet?
Not yet. We have one more week of school.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. So we just started break, so it's been kind of nice to um reboot a little bit and catch up on some sleep for sure. But that's super exciting that you only have 1 week left.
Mhm.
And I wish you nothing but the best. And if you need anything at all, I am literally just a text away.
Thanks.
Okay, perfect. Make sure you tell your family I said hello. I miss them all.
All right, I will.
Alrighty, bye, G. Thank you.
Bye, thanks.